Good afternoon, you guys. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's Friday is going amazing. Happy Friday, you all. I'm gonna wait for some more people to come in and join us. I'm gonna try to be quick, you guys. Good afternoon. Whew, when I say it feels so good to drink water. You would have thought that today, given that it's the last day of the fast, that it would have been like the easiest for me. But today has really been the most challenging for me as far as the water. So it feels good to have some water. It feels good to have some water, y'all. So we're going to get started. I really want some cookies. You know what? The sweets for me really has not been that bad. Shockingly, the sweets portion of things really has not been bad. Like I really thought probably that the sweets would have been the most challenging. I think for me, it's the water. I think it's the not being able to drink anything until 12 o'clock. Yeah, I would say by a landslide, that is my biggest challenge. Sweets have not even crossed my mind. Normally, when we have been fasting from sweets, I feel like I kind of, as I'm going through the fast, what gets me going is that I know what I'm breaking my fast with. Like I know when this fast is over, I'm gonna bake me a pound cake. I know when this fast is over, I'm gonna go to whatever restaurant and order this dessert. Like, like normally it helps me to kind of have on my mind like which specific sweet I'm gonna break the fast with. But no, like this time, it's just kind of been like, okay. Like the sweets has not been like a big thing for me. But typically it is. So I'm gonna be praying for you as you get to have your cookie tomorrow. I'm looking at some of these comments. I forgot we did a 60-day fast with no sweets. Wow, we really did. We did. Yes, I'm telling you, it's the water. That's why I was like, I gotta have my water together, honey, today. Mm-mm. Something that I did, not on Monday, but like once I saw how challenging it was for me, like working out without the water, I pushed my workout time back a little later. Like yesterday when I worked out maybe like around, I want to say like 11 o'clock, or it might have been the day before. One of those days, I switched my workout time to 11 o'clock, 11:30. And so basically, by the time my workout was done, I was able to get water because it was 12 o'clock by that time. So I've been stress eating. Oh, good, good. I needed my water exactly at 12. Come on, come on. So let me tell you guys what I have been experiencing. And this was really something that I have been experiencing today. So let me just first kind of tell y'all like Friday is typically, and I promise I'm not like crying. This is like spring getting to me a little bit. But Friday is typically a day where at some point in time, my husband and I try to, spend some time together, have a date day, something like that. And so today was a little bit interesting because obviously I'm fasting. So we did not want to, go to try to go get something to eat really, really early because I would have been sitting there watching him eat. Because a lot of times when we have like for dates, we'll go to like breakfast and stuff after we drop the kids off. So he took me to lunch today, and I want to say it was like right at 12 o'clock. That's how I knew like I'm not going to be able to have a call at 12:30 today. And so that's what pushed the time back initially. And so when we got to the restaurant, it was like just like this exhaustion like overtook me, or like it was, I can't even put it into words, like just immediately exhausted. And I'm like, what's what's going on? Because I think I had a good night rest, last night. I think I got, some good rest. Like I'm not really sure what's happening. So the restaurant that we went to, so for those of you guys that are here in Dallas, and I mean they have this restaurant in multiple cities, but you know how some of the Nordstroms have like a restaurant inside of it. So we went to the restaurant inside the Nordstrom at North Park Mall here in Dallas. And so I had said that after we went to the restaurant, when I found out he was taking me there, I'm like, let's walk around the mall and get some steps in. Like one thing about me, if I could find a way to get me to get me some steps in, I done already told y'all. One thing I'm going to do is I am going to walk around the mall with the elderly people to get some quick steps in. Like that's what I do. So when I found out he was taking me to the mall, I'm like, cool, let's get some steps in, whatever. So we're sitting and eating, and we didn't even have the actual meal yet. Like I'm eating a little bit of the bread, and I think I had got like some soup or something. I needed an appetizer because I was hungry. So I had got some soup as an appetizer, and y'all, I was just so exhausted. Like to the point I said to him even before the food came, I'm like, listen, I don't think I want to walk no more. I don't think I want to walk around the mall and get no steps in. Like I think I'm good. Like I'm really, really, really tired. And so when we got home, like I want to say when we pulled up back at the house, because I, for whatever reason, the service was kind of slow at that Nordstrom. The service, like getting seated, we had to wait maybe like 30 minutes to get seated. So I didn't even really break fast until probably like 1 o'clock. We had to wait a while to get seated. It took a second like for the food to come. Like the service was just not really the best. So anyway, when we pull up home, it's probably like 2:53, 2:54. So I had enough time to basically, I could have got on a prayer call at 3 o'clock, or I could have got on the YouTube at 3 o'clock. But I was so tired that I really felt like if I get on here at 3 o'clock, I know that I'm not going to be showing up as my best self because I'm exhausted. Like I'm tired. Like I'm feeling really, really, really this just overwhelming sense of exhaustion. And so I laid down, I set a timer on my phone, and I'm like, okay, God, like I'm going to send them out this email. Y'all know I sent y'all the email like a couple minutes before 3 o'clock. I'm like, I'm going to send them out this email, tell them that I need to push it back a little bit. And, I'm just going to trust that you're going to explain what this is. Because again, it was like just out of nowhere, the exhaustion just came over me. And like I said, I know that I got some really good rest last night. And so I didn't really understand what it was about. And so anyway, when I wake up, and mind y'all, I just, what is this? It's 4:20. I just woke up at like 3:52. Like when I say I took every bit of that time that I had available. And so I sat for a second with the Lord before I got on here. And what the Lord said is acknowledge the battle that you have been fighting. And so I think it's so interesting that so many of you guys are saying, I have been so tired during this fast. I have been so tired. I don't know what it is, but I've been tired. I've been feeling sleepy. You are literally experiencing in the natural, almost like a side effect of what has been going on in the physical. And I just really want that to bless somebody, because I think a lot of times when we are fasting, we feel like, is am I getting anything out of this? Like what's going on? Like am I seeing the breakthrough? Am I getting the clarity? Am I getting the thing that I've been fasting for? But your body feeling like it's being worn out. There is a fight that has been won in the spiritual sense. There is a fight that has been won in the spiritual sense. There is a fight that has been won in the spiritual sense. There is a fight that has been won in the spiritual sense. There is a fight that has been won in the spiritual sense. Sometimes we have to be okay with feeling exhausted a little bit. Sometimes we got to be okay with feeling tired a little bit because the tides are turning in the spiritual sense. The tables are turning in the spiritual sense. That thing that you've been struggling with, you're not going to be struggling with it anymore because that demon has been defeated. That thing that you've been struggling with, you're not going to be struggling with it anymore because that stronghold has been defeated. You got to give yourself some credit for the fight that you've been fighting. You got to give yourself some credit for the battle that has just been won. You got to give God some credit that he brought you through this battle. Somebody say, he brought me through this battle. 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 I'm telling you, some of you guys, when you see what is on the other side of this battle, when you see what has been won in the spiritual sense, you are going to be so grateful. You are going to be so thankful. You are going to be so excited that no longer are you fasting for the same thing because the Lord has answered that prayer. That no longer are you praying about the same thing because the Lord has answered that prayer. Somebody say, the Lord has answered that prayer. 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 All I hear is the Lord saying is new favor, is new wind, new ideas, new territory. The Lord is doing such a new thing. And for those of you guys that are in Favor 365, y'all know that that is the scripture in the book of Isaiah that we have literally been standing on all year, that the Lord is doing a new thing. My old problems aren't my problems anymore. My old issues aren't my issues anymore. My old battles aren't my battles anymore. The demons that I used to struggle with, I don't struggle with those demons anymore. We got to understand that the success of a fast doesn't always look like I got a random check in the mail. The success of a fast doesn't always look like I logged into my bank account and a random deposit was there. The success of a fast does not always look like I got an increase at my job this week. The success of a fast does not always look like I got a bunch of new clients this week. The success of a fast does not always look like the Lord gave me $1 million idea. The success of a fast does not always look like this person just sold into me. This person just sent me a seed, or I was in the line at Target and somebody paid for my stuff. I was in the line at the grocery store. And so it doesn't always look like that. But best believe you are never fasting in vain. Best believe that the Lord has seen every single time this week that you turn down your plate. Best believe that the Lord has seen every time this week when you were thirsty, but you didn't go get the water. The Lord has seen every single time this week when you wanted to roll over in the middle of the night and was wishing it was a bottle of water there, but you prayed instead. The Lord has seen every single time this week when you were hungry and your stomach was growling, but instead of you feeding your stomach with food, you fed it with the word instead. So we just bless the Lord for what he has done during this fast. We bless the Lord that this has truly been a fast that has harvested some things. We bless the Lord that this has truly been a fast of answered prayers. We bless the Lord that the tides are turning. We bless the Lord that it won't be long now that what is happening in the spiritual realm, that we see it in the natural. We bless the Lord that it won't be long now that we see the financial increase and the financial favor that we've been fasting for. We bless the Lord that it won't be long now until the floodgates open. We bless the Lord that it won't be long now until a certain level of peace and healing is upon us, or whatever it is that you have been praying for. We bless the Lord that the battle has been won in the spiritual. We bless the Lord that strongholds have fallen off in this fast. We bless the Lord that demons have trembled and had to flee during this fast. Somebody say demons have trembled and had to flee during this fast. Demons have trembled and had to flee during this fast. Demons have trembled and had to flee during this fast, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the Lord says something happened in the spiritual. He says something happened in the spiritual. He said the battle has been won in the spiritual. That's why you feel so exhausted. That's why you feel so exhausted. That is why you feel so exhausted. That is why you feel so exhausted. That is why you feel so exhausted. I want y'all to also understand as well, even if you have never gotten a surgery before. Now I'm going to explain. So I have had two C-sections. So obviously I've had a surgical, procedure before, right? And so if you notice anybody here that has had a C-section or, really any other type of surgery, in the recovery phase, like even not even just when you're home, but like even in the recovery phase when you are still in the hospital, one of the things that you will hear them consistently say to you, like almost like the point of a broken record, is get some rest, get some rest. Like I'm telling you, like over and over and over again, they're going to tell you that you need to get some rest. They're going to tell you relax. They're going to tell you to, be easy on your feet. I know when I had my first C-section with my first child, the recovery was a lot harder than my second time around. And I believe that the recovery was a lot harder the first time because I wasn't resting, the way that I should have been. When I had my second baby, I remember literally telling my husband, listen, whatever y'all got going on upstairs for at least 2 to 3 weeks, I will not be going up the stairs. Like, under no circumstances for the first 2 to 3 weeks after having this baby will I be going up the stairs. Now, with the first C-section, I had to go up the stairs because the type of house that we lived in at the time, we had a townhouse. So all the bedrooms, were upstairs. So I had no choice. Like I had to go upstairs in order to lay down. I had to, like, everything was upstairs basically, unless you was finna sleep in the kitchen, right? Also, the first time I had an emergency C-section, so I did not have a way of like preparing and doing all the things the way that I did like the second time around, right? But needless to say, the part of the recovery, even though it was easier the second time around, the part of the recovery that was still the same was the nurses kept saying, you got to make sure you get your rest. My doctor kept saying, you got to make sure you get your rest. My husband kept saying, you got to make sure you get your rest. My mother kept saying, you got to make sure. Everybody that I would talk to, everybody kept saying, you got to make sure that you get your rest. And then my doctor would even tell me, listen, if you don't get your rest, your body is going to force you to get your rest. And I don't know how many people here have had a C-section, but after I've had both of my C-sections, if I've been on my feet for too long, my body will literally tell me to sit down, to the point where I have had a feeling of dizziness at times, to the point that I've had a feeling of feeling a little bit faint at times. Like, and even those of you that have not had a C-section, even other types of surgeries, like I'm pretty sure you're experiencing some of the same side effects after the anesthesia is wearing off, and the pain stuff and just all the different things that you go through when you have a surgery, right? You need rest. Your body needs rest. Your body is healing. And I'm so grateful that the Lord reminded me of like my surgeries and to put it in this perspective, because I hear the Lord saying, you feel so exhausted because I've done surgery on your heart. You don't feel the same way that you used to feel about things. I hear the Lord saying, you are so exhausted because I've done surgery on your mind. Your mind has changed about money. Your mind has changed about success. Your mind has changed about my capacity. He said, your mind has taken the limits off of me. The Lord said, you are so tired because I've done surgery on your stomach. The things that you were hungry for, you will not be hungry for anymore. The lust that you were hungry for, the sin that you were hungry for, the fear that you were hungry for, all these things that you were wanting before. The Lord said, I've done a surgery on you during this fast, and I changed your taste buds. The Lord said, I've done a surgery on you during this fast, and I've changed the things that were appealing to you. The Lord said, I've done a surgery on you during this fast, and I changed that part of your heart that didn't want to forgive, that was holding on to the grudges. The Lord said, you're so tired because I have done a full blown surgery on you. It does not matter what your pain tolerance is. A lot of people go into surgery almost with like this toughness of like, oh, but I got a really high pain tolerance. I know a lot of people do that because it's me. I'm a lot of people, right? I'm always talking about this high pain tolerance that I have. But I'm here to tell you that no matter how much of a pain tolerance you might have, you're going to need to rest after that surgery. Your body is going to need to rest to restore itself. God said your mind is getting some rest in this season. God said your body is getting some rest in this season. He said your heart is getting some rest in this day because I just did a surgery on you. Somebody say, God just did a surgery on me. 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 Let me tell y'all, a couple days ago, so this was still during this fast. A couple days ago, I could feel the enemy trying to plant like a little bit of worry in me. Now, I'm not a worrier. I'm too much in my word to worry, right? However, one thing that I notice is that I got to really pay attention to how I'm responding to things during fasting, because what a lot of people don't understand is that when God has called you to lead a fast, if you're not careful, other people's stuff will try to come on to you, right? Because you got to think, we're praying about the spirit of worry, we're praying about the spirit of fear, like, we're praying about all of these different things that, excuse me, that people are feeling, right? And so I'm just like, where's this worry what's going on? Why am I worried about something that I know that God is going to handle? Why am I worried about something? Why am I worried about what's going on? And it ain't like I haven't seen this before. It's not like it's something new and, oh my goodness, I don't know if this is like something that God can get me through. Like, I've literally seen the hand of God before with this very situation. So, what's up? What's going on? Like, why am I feeling like this? Like, why am I feeling this overwhelming sense of feeling worried? I don't understand it. And so, as I'm feeling like this sense of worry, the only thing that I knew to do to respond to it was prayer. Because again, I did not even understand where this sense of worry was coming from. And so I prayed about it, felt better. The worry went away, like not even thinking about it, not even remembering it, literally until this just came up just now in this example. So good. I'm not asking the Lord, what you want me to say about this, or what you like. I'm talking about nothing. I ain't thinking about nothing. I ain't concerned about nothing. Like, I am all the way good. Like, I don't feel worried about nothing. And so I was reminded of it today with this example, with God leading me to bring up this example. But I'm reminded to share this because I'm sensing that even though we are on day 5 of this fast, even though plenty of you guys have fasted, with us before, there is still very much a spirit of worry that's there. There is still very much a spirit or a thought of, how is this bill going to be taken care of that's due tomorrow? Or how is that bill going to be taken care of that's due next week? Or the one, that's due this day, and the one that's due, whatever you guys got going on, in terms of like bill stuff or expenses and, things like that. But what I hear the Lord saying is, do you think that I did not see what you just did for me? Do you think that I did not see what you just did for me? I need somebody to be reminded that the Lord honors sacrifices. The Lord honors sacrifices. The Lord honors sacrifices. One of the reasons why so many people do not go deeper in Christ, they don't never fast. They don't want to sacrifice nothing. They don't want to tithe. They don't want to do no fast. They don't want to spend too much time in prayer. To them, it's like, oh, I'm busy. I always forget about it. Oh, well, I feel like I don't have to fast, my money because I give to the poor every now and then. Or, oh, I don't got to fast because I do this. God honors sacrifices. So I really just pray that that word puts somebody at peace, knowing that the Lord has heard you throughout this fast, knowing that the Lord sees you throughout this fast, knowing that the Lord is on your side even beyond this fast, knowing that He is going to bless you and He is going to bless you indeed. Have a great rest of your Friday, you guys. That's all I have for y'all. I'm looking forward to an amazing April with you guys. I have so much that I need to release and share on this YouTube. So don't even be surprised if I'm back on here this weekend at some point in time, or Monday at some point in time. But I am extremely grateful. I am eternally grateful for what the Lord has done within this fast, because I know that something has shifted. 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 Somebody just say, I know something has shifted. I know the stronghold is gone. I know something has shifted. I know the stronghold is gone. I know something has shifted. 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 Have a great rest of your Friday, you guys, and I'll talk to y'all soon.